for him, he might just be so comfortable with this Corrin that he would rather play this. I'm sure this is also a matchup that he's practiced here like quite a bit.
Yeah, and I know for me, because I play Lucina a lot, the Sheik matchup is just tough because of this movement that you see from Shinkou already, going in with the fairs off of down throw. But yeah, what you were talking about earlier, like this is already difficult to watch. But coming back with the pin there.
You know, of course, damage-wise, you know, Corrin definitely has the damage output necessary, but really, you know, she can do so many things on reaction or just kind of quickly getting damage, getting gimps, all those things. Like, Sheik itself already a very good character, but especially against Corrin, this is probably one of Corrin's hardest matchups. I would argue this is probably Corrin's, like, you know, second, third hardest matchup overall.
Yeah, because you mentioned off stage, Corrin is pretty bad against Sheik, but on stage, how would you feel about that?
I would say on stage still
the mix-up right there, almost killing 113%.
On stage, Corrin of course wants to have stage control. Incredibly important for the character to, as with any sword character, you always want to have stage control. But you know, with Sheik is totally comfortable being really wherever in the air. Has that awesome bouncing fish mix-up to just kind of switch directions on you pretty easily. Of course, the one thing that Sheik is going to struggle with a little bit is kills. But on Corrin, most of the cast actually does have easier kills on Corrin than most other characters, just due to fall speed and size and things like that. So
there's the bouncing fish. I think when he did the fourth throw off stage at like 130% on Corrin, he was waiting for that air dodge. That's the thing that Sheiks are looking for when getting Corrin off stage, because it's really just a frame trap, if anything.
So Shinkou doing a pretty good job, just kind of quickly eating away at Ro, just getting easy damage right now, not really overextending too much. Ro, you know, has to be very careful because the moment he throws out a move, Shinkou is almost free to punish anything, you know, at this point, because just Sheik has such such good frame data, very fast movement. Yeah, for example, right there you saw that nair to really get Corrin off stage. Corrin has good or like better horizontal recovery due to the back airs that she can use, but at the same time, you know, with a character like Sheik, it's pretty possible to just kind of get Corrin below the stage, and then at that point the back airs are almost useless. Pin can be very easily punished by, well, once you shield, Sheik is one of the few characters that are actually capable of pretty easily punishing Pin, whether it's with needles, bouncing fish, lots of things. I think that might have been a B reverse, bouncing fish, but
you can totally see the download that Shinkou is putting on Ro. And
I'm surprised he did not go for the nair there. Oh, good up air to catch that.
Yeah, but 125, it might be a little too late for him.
This is very possible because of Sheik's difficulty in terms of killing. But once it gets to high enough percent, at that point, it really doesn't matter because most moves are just going to kill. The S smash is going to kill.
Yep, there it is. And Shinkou taking game one pretty decisively. You know, I think a big thing on stage was his movement, running around him, doing all those B reverses with his needles, stuff like that.
I think overall, in like, you know, Ro kind of being forced to overextend, because if he didn't react to some of Shinkou's approaches, then it's very difficult for Corrin to really get anything. So he kind of Corrin depends purely on juggling the characters that So as you see, Ro is. Or I guess he actually his Mii sword fighter is pretty good.
I hope it's Mii Gunner. I love the movement on Mii Gunner.
Actually, maybe it is Mii Gunner. Yeah, you might be right.
Have you seen the stuff that this character can do? Like, I know it's like with kill options and setups, it's a little bit difficult without like customs, but like the kind of stuff that you can bounce in and out of, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, you know, Ro, I'm not too surprised to see the character switch. I think it was kind of expected from the beginning. But yeah, I've played against his Mii Gunner in bracket. It's pretty good. Not as good as this Corrin for sure, but I think overall in this matchup specifically, he's better off. Ooh, good falling up air to up air.
Now, this might be the case of like, has Shinkou played a Mii Gunner? Like, does he know the matchup? Does he know the kind of things that...
I think overall matchup is not going to be the problem. I think it's going to be how well does he deal with projectiles, because, you know, she can definitely use a lot of her own projectiles, but Mii Gunner definitely has a lot of good options with those projectiles overall that I think Sheik now has to play a little bit safer than last time, because she could just keep moving around Corrin over and over and over again, and it forces any Corrin player to kind of react to that at some point. So I think now, in this case, he'll have to play slightly safer, but the recovery I think is even more, is definitely worse for Me Gunner than it is for Corrin. I think vertical height, it might be slightly more than Corrin for Me Gunner, but otherwise in pretty much every other aspect, the recovery is pretty much worse.
Right.
You do have that spike hitbox under it, but you do have long range up air.
That's exactly
forward
what I was
smash,
thinking. Yeah.
forward air. Actually, like tons of Me Gunner moves are really good at keeping the opponent away and really just spacing them out. I think against Sheik, this is a better idea than even going a character like Lucina.
Yeah, and I think something that Ro may have thought about in between games is trying to space out Sheik, trying to push him away from him, kind of like what he's doing now. But yeah, like what you said with the recovery, it's kind of susceptible to being taken by Sheik's like bouncing fish or something.
I think one thing I would say Ro's doing an excellent job of is he is not getting scared because of Sheik just kind of putting needles. Like, oh, excellent ledge front to back air. But I think that he's not getting too scared because of Sheik just putting needle pressure. And I think that's something that's very important in the matchup against Sheik in general. Oh, excellent. Oh my goodness.
That was almost it, but
Sheik
down.
Shinkou SDing right there. Kind of overextended a little bit, thinking that he could definitely get the kill, but
maybe for the stream highlight or something. But he had a stock to play with. But let's see if that'll bite him in the butt.
Oh, excellent damage by Ro. He's definitely keeping this game close.
A little bit more interesting than the last one.
Yeah.
I think what Shinkou does really well is the early damage and just really getting into the zone and really just pressuring him early on. Let's see what they do.
I think Ro's doing a fantastic job overall, just keeping his composure, and that's something that most players would not be able to do against Sheik. So Shinkou, an incredibly good Sheik already, but I think that him just keeping his composure overall throughout this match is pretty good. Ro doing a good job using those forward airs in order to kind of change up his movement, and I think that that's something I didn't even realize about Me Gunner, but that actually does give a good amount of momentum in the air. So
that down tilt has a lot of upward
knockback.
Launch,
yeah. I think partially the rage is helping him with that down tilt, but
do you know how well Me Gunner can kill?
I don't know, but I do know that Me Gunner has a good number of strong options. Like I believe forward air and up air. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Waiting for the air dodge, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Good job on Shinkou overall, but I think that Ro did a pretty good job kind of keeping that pretty close. He kept his comm under a lot of pressure and things like that. So it's like overall pretty good set. Very clearly, Shinkou kind of did